Hey guys, welcome back to That LI Garage. In this episode, we are going to go over and service the PDK transmission in the 911 Turbo, which is relevant to a few other models that have the PDK from Porsche. We're gonna have an overview, and we're gonna go through removing the axles, removing the valve body, removing the rear diff inside the main transmission housing, and removing the housing around the differential. This way we could get to the seals that were broken that you'll see later in the episode. We're also going to learn how to fill gear oil and transmission oil in the transmission fluid in the PDK transmission without any fancy computers or hardware. So stay tuned for that. So let me get you up to speed, but before that, please hit the like button. At the end of the video, please have a comment, subscribe, and do all that good stuff. Every time I pulled this car out of my shop, in and out, it left a puddle of transmission fluid right under the transmission itself. So I looked further into it, and the transmission shifted, but every so often would give me an issue, and this and that. It's not like I even really drove the car. It was just in and out of the shop onto the trailer, and stuff like that. So it would leave a puddle, and it would also shift really aggressively, even from a standstill and just moving forward, more aggressive than it should be. So it's low on fluid because obviously it's leaking. So I did my research, and turns out that there was a seal. I needed to take it apart, and I did take it apart. I took out the valve body and the pan, obviously, to get to visually see the seal that holds the axle shaft. The axle shaft part of the transmission end, not the axle that goes to the wheel hub. So since the accident, it moved it dislodged it from its location, and therefore let it leak oil out of this small breather hole that they have. If you go in the center of the car from the rear, you'll see on the passenger side, you'll see this little hole drilled into the body of the transmission, and it leaked out of there. It would literally be running out of there when the car is running. A bunch of transmission fluid would be leaking out of there. You can see the pan itself is all wet, and it even goes onto the oil pan from the engine if you drive the car a little bit. So we're gonna dive into that, and that's it. Enjoy the show. Hopefully this helps you guys figure out how the PDK works. And it's a very interesting system. It took me some time to, there's very limited information on this gearbox. So hopefully this helps people out there. I was able to get a few people from the community to, give me answers here and there and help me. It's very limited, but I did the research and due diligence of asking a few people who might know, and everybody knows just a little bit. So hopefully this helps more than one person. All right, so I was able to take out the shaft out, and I see over there the hole where it's supposed to go to. I pushed a little pin, a little plastic, let me show you, from the spray bottle. I used one of these red things. I pushed it in the hole, and I see it through the axle hole. I gotta take this out to get to it. So I'm just gonna take the valve body off real quick, and we'll get to see what's underneath it. And along with that, so another thing is, I don't know for sure because there's not much write-ups on this, but you have two different size screws here. The screw heads, I'm assuming it's the big ones, because I did a few in the past, and there's different sizes for that reason. So don't touch the small ones, just touch the big ones, the ones with the big heads. I'm going to leave this one in there. So that's going to be my pilot one. It's going to hold it for me. And this one right here, I'm just going to loosen it. That's my next pilot, so it doesn't drop. Yep, there we go. So we'll take this one all the way out too. So this way, there's only one in there that's holding it. I'm gonna wait till this. Okay. All right, so great news. This fell off. When I opened up the oil pan, it was on the bottom and I found it. And now this is the seal that goes into this axle shaft that I was talking about. The axle connects onto here and this goes into the transmission. This seal sits right here. Now, this over here, I'm going to do it over here. I pushed it in before, but I pulled it out so I could redo it. It sits inside this seal. It presses inside. It's part of the seal, and it keeps pressure on the outer ring, so it gives it a good seal. The axle has a good seal. Now, here's the next thing. So that now here, when it sits here, this is the differential sits here, and it prevents the oil from seeping into here. And in this area is over here. Over here, this is, you have the gear oil, and on this area, in this area, you would have the hydraulic fluid. So this seal is very important to keep the hydraulic fluid from going in, while there's another seal that sits over here that prevents all the gear oil from going in. So this was my problem. Now, here's the best part. So now when I put something into the hole that it was seeping from, it literally falls out right over here where this is. So this seal failed because that piece fell out after the accident and all. So I'm just going to show you where the part is, where the part belongs, so you could have an understanding. It goes, I don't know if you can see, right in there. The axle shaft slides right into there, and this seal right here needs to fit right in there. And a valve body sits over here, and that's why I wasn't able to, that's why I had to take it down. All right, guys, great news. I found out the issue. I found the seals that I need. I ended up getting them from Porsche with the help from some guys on Rentslist. So this is what I found so far. First of all, I took everything back apart and I went to go install this seal again. So the first thing I noticed when I took the old seal off, it's supposed to have this spring on the inside of the seal to hold this seal part that's on the axle shaft, pushes it down. So that was missing on my seal that was in the car. So that gave me a good feeling that I know for sure that's the seal and that's the problem. If I would have put another one of these back onto it, it would have been fine, but it was kind of beat up already, and I got one of these seals already. It was a lot of work to get them, and it comes as two. There's the inner, there's the part that's on the side of the diff oil, and this is the hydraulic oil. And they click together actually, and they sit right next to each other. So good news and bad news is I started taking it apart and I started working on it. And I noticed that the seal on the inside wasn't perfect, let's just say. And since I bought both of them, I'm going to just change, just to feed my curiosity and OCD on this thing. So I'm gonna do both of them. But because I have to do both of them, I have to take apart the whole other side, and I have to disassemble the differential of the transmission inside from the case. So I took a lot of things apart. Let me show you where I'm at before we continue. I'm trying my best to do this within the car. I don't know if there's enough space. There's enough space for me to get to all the bolts to take that plate off. I don't know if it will. If there's enough space for it to come out. I'm trying my best to do this within the car, and we're gonna find out together if you could do it within the car or I have to pull the transmission. So that's my goal for today. And let me show you what we are up to. So as of right now, I did the same thing as last time. I zip tied the valve body. I drained all the fluids, and I saved them this time because it's all new fluid. The axle shaft is, I pulled it out on this side and I pulled it out on this side. Now I'm up to taking out all these bolts around this plate. Hopefully this plate will be able to come out because it's really tight. You can see the distance from here, so it might get stuck. I don't know how deep it goes. Like I can't imagine it being deeper than this. And then we have the differential inside of it too, which is a big chunk of metal as well. You know, big gears. So we're gonna find out if it can come out. Okay, so we can do it. Pretty much we can do it. Let me show you so far what has to happen. I took the cover off, as you saw in the video before. The cover came off. The gears, the differential, this is the rear differential, can't come out. With the frame is in the way, which is fine, which leaves me enough room to take the seal out and put the new seal inside. This is the part number for the seal. So if you guys do need it, you can order one. This was the other seal on the inside. You see there was a little tear in it right here. It probably would have been fine. I don't know. It's worth peace of mind knowing that it's changed. So now I'm going to put in the new seal, which is here. This guy, it's two different seals, two different sizes, and with this metal insert in this one. So I'm going to try to put it as like this, as one piece. Alright guys, so it's pretty difficult to do it with the differential there. I was able to move the differential over here, to slide it in through that hole, and then I cleaned up. But then after I cleaned up, I put a socket in here and I hit it with the hammer and I pushed the seal till it's flush. It's a really tight area, but it can be done. It can be done. So the next thing to do is put this differential, try to get it, you know, massage it through, get it to the other side, and there's an O-ring sealing this cover. I cleaned the cover and I put the seal back on because I don't have another seal for it. I just put a tiny bit of silicone on it, like the gasket maker stuff. That's the gray stuff here. So that's gonna help it seal. So now I just gotta put it back together. The seal fits in perfectly. That's good to go. Looks like this transmission is gonna be done today. Boy. All right, so I finished wrapping everything up. Now I'm gonna fill up the gear oil. The gear oil uses just under 3 75W90. I'm using Motul. I really like this. I used them in my race car in the past. It's really good fluid. So I'm gonna put it in, and this is how I'm going to do it. It's a messy procedure, very simple. You fill it up till it starts bleeding out of there, and then you plug it. So keep your plug easily accessible. I'll leave it right here. So the second it starts leaking, plug it in. So first step is, you see this? Is suck it out of the canister. You can see it get filled. You don't need to fill it all the way. If you want to make it get fancy, just get some out a little bit, lift it and suck it out just to get some air in there, so you got some time to work with. So this is the messy part I was talking about, and just keep filling it up. Oh, see that? See that flow that's actually coming out of there? I'm gonna let it empty out just a tiny bit. I don't want to overfill it. It's a nice color too. It's very white. Now I'm gonna plug it. As it's still leaking a tiny bit, you know. Leave a little extra in there. Okay, now I'm gonna show you how to fill up the hydraulic fluid without any fancy parts, any fancy tools. You could do this in your garage somewhere. Put the car in jack stands. Take, since it's a 4-wheel drive car, you would need to take all 4 wheels off the ground, put it on jack stands, and then come here and I'll show you. You take a hose. I like using clear hoses. This is a hose I'm using. And I put electric tape on it just so it's big enough so I can screw it in. If you can see, I'm pulling on it, it's not coming out. I'll have to like unscrew it, or I could really pull it hard and it'll come out. And that's what you want. So I'm gonna put everything back where it belongs, because soon we're gonna start the engine. First, we're gonna fill it with 3 or 4 quarts, because that's what we know the pan uses. And then we're gonna run it through the gears on the lift. So let me show you the contraption I made. I'm gonna lower the car and I'm gonna start filling it up. So when running the hose, make sure it's not coming anywhere next to the rotor or the axle. I routed it around it, just so if once I start driving it and it starts turning, it won't puncture a hole in it. Okay, so now I taped. You could put this to anywhere. You could put it on a chair. You could do it anything. But since this car needs paint anyways, I just taped it up. Funnel here, and I'm gonna start filling it up over here. And I'm going to be able to see the fluid going in, and I'll see when there's air bubbles or anything funny going on. Let me show you the fluid that I'm gonna be using. Again, Motul. This is from their website. You can see this is what they recommended. So now we're just gonna put the first bottle. We're just gonna fill it up a little bit. And at the same time, we're going to just make sure there's no leaks, make sure nothing comes off. So once it's running, everything is good. So I want to look at the fluid running in. It made the first loop. It's coming in. Now it's starting to fill. So, and it's still filling. So I'm going to fill up the funnel all the way up. And now I could see that my tape is not going to stand for too much longer. I can't hold any more weight, but we'll keep an eye on that. Oh, see, it's taking time for it to go in there. Yes, fill it up a little bit. And let gravity do its job. All right, so I'm going to finish filling it up. I'm going to put 3 quarts in there. I'll put 3.5. I'll put 3.5, and then I'm going to jump in the car. I'm going to start the car, and I'm going to run the car at in park, and I'll keep filling it up. I'll leave it in park, then I'll go into neutral, and then I'll go into reverse, and then go into first, and I'll go through all the gears at the same time of me filling it up. When I'm done going through all the gears, then I'm going to have the car up in the lift, and I'm going to remove it while the car is in park, and we're going to watch some of the fluid coming out, and we're going to see if we need to add any more fluid, or there should be a small stream coming out, not a heavy stream. If it's a heavy stream, then it's overfilled. Nothing coming out, and it's underfilled. So that's how we're going to fill this thing up. Up a gear. Up a gear. What gear are you in? 5. Up a gear. Up a gear. 7. Now you're gonna go down gently, okay? Down 1. Down 1. Keep going down. The same speed. It's good there. Good. Hey guys, so Luke lent me his dealer plate so I can drive this bad boy back to the shop so he could finish the bodywork. So let's check out our job with the transmission yesterday. I let her warm up moments ago, so she's ready to go. I think I'm gonna take it to the gas station also, fill it up with some fresh gas. But most of all, I want to see how the transmission shifts. Woo. All right, regular driving. She's shifting good. Up to 7th gear, no problem. Downshifted nicely. All right. I think I'm gonna press it next time. Let's see how she does. Try it down from first. Oh, she's nice. She's really nice. Transmission is perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
thanks for watching our dad's video. So don't forget to hit the notification and please subscribe for more daily awesome future videos. And if you have a question, you could comment down below. And don't forget to hit that bell so you can get notified to the next video that comes out. And please like the video. And don't forget, if you ain't got us, you ain't poppin'.